So, this is a recap on my visit today at Hamden High School in Connecticut. I went there, and I have to say, it was great. I had tried something new, so rather than going in and being all stuffy with a PowerPoint presentation and lots of pictures about what physics is. What I did this time was I just kind of played it by ear and really improvised. I went in with a lot of equipment, a lot of toys, and so I started in by talking about what physics was. We talked about careers. I talked about redefining the question of what success is. We talked about the difference between science and engineering, and how they're the same, but they're different, but they're very similar. Um, a lot of the students in the audience wanted to be engineers, so it was kind of exciting. They were already kind of buying into math and why engineering would be important and why math would be important. So, it's a good audience to talk to about physics. Uh, we had a good day. We did after some career discussion. We talked about Snell's law, but we didn't actually do Snell's law. We just talked about the trends, like what happens in Snell's law. Basically, the point being to get to the total internal reflection angle that you get when all the light gets reflected instead of refracted. And then we moved on to talking about fibers and why they would be important. We talked a little bit about optical communication. We had an amplitude modulation thing where you can use your voice to modulate the amplitude of a diode laser and send it across the room, and then have a receiver and a speaker at the other end. And the students love that. Somebody actually sung into the laser, and they were telling jokes to one another. It was pretty fun. We also talked about how an interferometer works. I dropped the ball and I forgot to talk about how LIGO works when I was going through the interferometer. That's always kind of a nice touch when doing that kind of demo. I did get to talk about the Nobel Prize this year for discovering planets around other stars. We had some students that were play acting what it's like to go around the sun and how the sun wobbles and how we might be able to detect that from far away. Students had a good time. I had a good time. I really liked how the flexible, come in, just chat with the students, play with some toys. I liked how that worked. The high school students were fantastic. The teacher in the classroom was amazing. It was a huge win. I would like to do some things like this again. I think this would be a good time. So, be yourself, be fun, and roll with it. And your high school visits will be amazing. At least mine was.